I read a very interesting post on Tumblr today, written by a woman who basically says that tampons should be paid for by society, instead of the women buying for it themselves, because apparently this is sexist to force women to buy the tampons that they need for their periods and such. And as a protest, these women should just stop using tampons and allow the blood to drip on their bodies, show us horrible men how disgusting it is and what a horrible thing is we're forcing them to buy this stuff, and instead we will become sympathetic and not make them buy it anymore. Now, I have a few problems with this. First off, the idea that when you need to buy something, that is forcing you to buy it. It's greedy. We seem to have this idea in society that we shouldn't be sellouts. This is the idea that we should not just do things for the money, we should do what we're passionate about. You can see this in college, for example, people saying that you should study what you want to study, what your favorite thing is, rather than studying a field that can actually give you a job that pays decent money and allow you to pay off your debts. Now, in the real world, this doesn't actually happen, and I think a lot of people are glad that this doesn't. For example, I highly doubt that the CEO of Fruit of the Loom gets his panties wet by making whitey tighties for you and I to slip on every single morning. And in fact, I doubt you care about your underwear either. You put it on for 2 seconds, you spend 2 seconds taking it off later, and that's pretty much it. You don't care about it. Nobody's passionate about it. But underwear is kind of necessary in society. Nobody wants to do it, but we need it. So it's a good thing there is a profit motive for those people to make the underwear. We need it, so we pay money for it. That's how we determine the allocation and distribution of goods in society. It's not hating against you, and you can take that to any form of perspective. Like, for example, food. I need food, you need food. Is it wrong for people to hold us hostage for asking for food without paying for it? No, because the fact is when you work a job, that's demonstrating that you're producing something and you're using that money to buy stuff. And I know certain people will argue that the system is broken, they can't get a good job, and obviously that's a discussion that we can have. But the fact is the nature of a price system, selling something and then saying that you must make a profit in order to keep producing it, seems to make reasonable sense in society. That seems to help get stuff made when it needs to be made. Now, here's an interesting angle on the whole sexist perspective. On average, men need to eat more calories than women do in a day simply because our bodies are larger. There's more food that needs to be taken in to serve all the functions. It's like how a taller woman needs more calories than a shorter woman. And I'm taller than a lot of average men, so I probably need more as well. Should I say that up to that point that the average woman buys food for themselves, everything beyond that, it should be paid for me? Because to force me to pay for these extra calories that I need simply because I'm a man is sexism? It's not, for 2 reasons. One, you just need something, so you can buy it. That's just the way society works. It's not forcing you to do something because we hate you or we're discriminating against you. Once again, that is the price system, and that is what allows people to make money doing stuff and thus causes them to actually do things. And second off, the fact is, if you did socialize this somehow, let's say you did it through taxes, and we're going to assume that you're collecting taxes and the government isn't just running a deficit through this program. If you raise taxes to do this, some things are going to be paid for you via taxes that you get, but there are also going to be some things that you don't see the benefits of, that you paid taxes into as well. For example, let's say that you're a woman and this social program gives you tampons and you only have to pay your little bit of taxes. That's great for you, but the fact is also, if the government decides that all the calories above whatever benchmark women need to consume, anything above that for us men must be socialized as well, you are paying with your taxes for that food, and you will never see the benefit of that. If you don't make something a private purchase, you're not eliminating the price tag, you're just saying that the individual doesn't pay for it, society as a whole pays for it, with taxes, which most people have to pay in society, so you're not getting rid of it in that sense. I also want to bring up another very interesting point that the woman who wrote this post said. She said that women should just allow the period blood to drip on themselves to demonstrate how horrible and grotesque this is. And I'm not the type of person who would say that should be illegal. I'm the type of person who says that nudity should be legal, people should be able to do whatever they want, but the fact is it's still gross and unnecessary. Here's a perfect example. I have to pay for toilet paper in order to wipe my butt when I finish pooping. And I also have to pay a water bill for the water to take the poop away, because I don't want to deal with it. Now, I can't just stop pooping. I have to poop. So, is it saying that I'm being held hostage by the system to have to buy this water and toilet paper in order to go to the bathroom? And if I, in protest, decide to just start pooping in the street and using a leaf to wipe myself, is that an appropriate reaction. I don't believe it is. I'm not going to say that someone should stop you. I'm just saying that you're kind of weird and you're ostracizing yourself from society. It doesn't seem right. It's very odd of you. And people are going to view you as odd. Even if you have some sort of goal, it's going to make you seem unapproachable, and it's going to make your goals seem like they are an extremist position, that you have to go to this far end of society in order to reach. I don't believe it's going to be beneficial for your goal, so it doesn't make much sense. Now, this is one reason why I tend to have problems with social movements as a whole, especially on Tumblr. There are a ton of them, like the social justice warriors, who tend to pick a topic and they explain why society discriminates against some sect of society. And I support their right to say why they believe they're being discriminated against, but in the whole, I don't believe that the majority of these time, these movements actually solve the real problems of society, and that is because, as a whole, they generally don't focus on the big problems. Like, I don't believe this is discrimination against women, making them buy tampons. Do you know what is discrimination against women? Saying that women who are in the workforce should be raped for being in the workforce. And that's actually a thing. There's this Saudi Arabian writer who basically told his thousands of Twitter followers, who take him very, very seriously. They listen to him. They take what he has to say to heart. And he told his Twitter followers to take women who are in some sort of working setting at a counter and either sexually harass or sexually molest them. And he says that the government is trying to do things that helps society in Saudi Arabia get more jobs, but this man says, why should the jobs be given to the women? Why give a woman a job that could go to a man? And isn't that kind of sexist, saying that a woman should be raped essentially because she wants to escape the household? She wants to have her own income and be independent and not become a sex slave essentially of her husband? I think that's pretty reasonable to say is wrong, but these people don't care about it because it's not within their sphere of influence. It reminds me of another video I've made in the past, which was called Why Are the Little Things the Worst? Basically, what I was talking about was the idea that there are millions of problems in society, and they range everywhere from, oh, I can't find my favorite pair of pants today. Where did they go? I thought they were in the closet. Oh, well, I'll just wear this. They're okay. Ha ha ha. To things like genocide. There's a huge, broad spectrum of problems that we deal with. And the fact is, when you form a movement, it's not going to take the most serious problems and stop them first. It's going to take the problems that are most personally related to you, the things that impact you. These women care about having to pay for the tampons for however much money it is, but they don't care about the fact that women in the Middle East, for example, are being seriously taken advantage of. They don't listen to that, and it's not relevant to them. They don't care, because it's not their life. That's one major problem I have with people making social movements around issues, is they don't handle the serious problems. They only handle things that seem serious to you, but probably aren't in the long run. Thank you.